Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk a little bit more about indoor gardening. So right now it is January and it's very cold. The past few days it dropped down into the teens. So all of the plants in the garden are dead, you see? So all of my peppers are gone. So there's really not much you can grow right now in the wintertime. So that is one reason why indoor growing is so much fun, because there is no season and you can grow it all year long. Another reason is that it brings me a lot of joy, and I think psychologically when you see green or plants growing, it just lifts your spirit a little bit. So I think that's the reason why people have plants in the office and trees and stuff like that. So that is it's just some simple things, but again, it is a lot of fun. There's a lot of experimentations you can do, and also it gives you like food or plants or vegetable or peppers to use all winter long until the season becomes better, where you can grow outside again. So here is where all the plants that I have outside, they're all dead. Even the sorrel are pretty rough. I mean, they're tough plants, and even then they're just barely hanging on. So once it gets warmer, they will come back to life. But even those are just basically at the brink of death. So let's go inside. We'll take a look at a few plants that I have going, and then we'll talk a little bit about it, and then maybe I can encourage you to do some gardening inside. Okay, let's start with my grow tent in the garage. I always have something grown in here because I don't want to waste the space, and I want to utilize the lights that I have. And so I always have something that are just growing in here. So in the garage is a lot cooler, so I have to select plants that are adjusted to the cold conditions, or just cool weather crops like cabbages and lettuces and all that stuff. So here I have 2 cabbages growing, and then I have a time lapse running right there, so I can show you guys the process from start to finish. I mean, time lapse is such a beautiful thing, you guys. You can see how the plants grow and see it in action from day one until they or whenever you stop. So it's an awesome thing. But look at this, guys. The cabbages are just doing so well, and it's there's not a lot to do when you grow in hydroponic, except to occasionally change water. And because cabbages can grow enormous, they do drink a lot. So if you have a larger system, you have to you change less. If you have a 5-gallon, you may change a few times, because it takes 60 to 75 days for these guys to mature and develop the head. And I already have the cabbage head forming right there. You see that? That is just so cool, guys. It brings me a lot of joy, and when I come out here, I just love looking at the plants. Everything outside is brown and dead, but then in my tent, everything is nice and green and healthy. Okay, so those are my cabbages. So let's go inside and I'll show you a few more systems. Okay guys, here we are inside, and I have 3 hydroponic systems that I'm using to grow peppers. Peppers is one of those things that I just love to grow, so I grow them all year long. When I can't grow them outside, I grow them inside. And inside is just even more fun because you can get intimate with them. I put them right in my office, so when I work, I always stare at them, occasionally come over, look at them, pick a few things here off of the plants, do some trimming and all that stuff. And it is just an awesome thing. It just makes me very happy just to have some green in the office to look at. And also you have peppers to use all winter long, and you can get a lot of peppers, guys. I mean, I can't even use all of these because maybe a day I'll use like 2 peppers or 3 at the most. So every day I pick 2 or 3, and they just keep growing back. So I'll have peppers just the entire season or entire winter. Let me show you this beautiful Queenie. Look at this, guys. There are hundreds and hundreds of flowers. You see, they're just everywhere. They're just starting to form fruits here, and so more flowers will start to form. So I'll have just a gazillion pods on this plant. It's just super productive. And you can see, I mean, just from the top, there's just a bunch already. And then in here, you know, they're starting to form even more. You see just flowers everywhere. This thing is just ridiculous. You know, if I were to guess, you know, a few hundred flowers easily on this plant that is, you know, very small. It's under a foot high. And the reason it's short like that is because I do trim. I did trimming in the beginning to keep it nice and compact and small, and that is how I keep the plant so that, you know, it's more manageable in the system and easy to maintain. And also, when the plant is not too crazy big, they don't drink very much, so I mix everything by the gallon and I feed them as I go. So every few days I'll just give a little bit and change it out very often, you know, because when the plants are fruiting, you don't want to keep refilling because your nutrients is going to be out of balance, and that's not going to be good. Your plants are going to have a root problem. It's going to struggle. It's going to have imbalance. It's going to have lockout, and your plant's not going to have you know, look healthy, and then all their flowers are going to drop. And so here you see all my plants are just fruiting like crazy. Even the small plant, look how small this is, guys. And you know, even then I can see more than 10 peppers already, you know, maybe even 20. Okay, and then here's another one. Look at this one, full size fruits as large as the larger plant. So even though they're in small system, they can still produce full size fruits. Look at how many of them. I mean, you wouldn't think that a plant this size can produce this many fruits or this size fruits. So a very easy system to manage. And look at this one, guys. Look at how many flowers are there on here. You see that? Just flowers everywhere. So it's crazy how plants that size can manage that many fruits. And this one here is just crazy plant. It's ridiculous. You look at this bundle. I tried to count them last night. I counted 25 fruit in one bundle, but I think I'm missing a bunch because they're just, you know, they're grouped together and then they're on top of each other. So it's just ridiculous. Look at that. How beautiful that is. And every little bundle, there are flowers and fruits. So yeah, I did a video on this plant, how I trimmed it and all that. So if you want to see the entire process, make sure you check that video out. And here's the result of what I did, so you can see it's awesome. It just grows like crazy. I mean, the fruit, but the plant, again, the plant is not very tall. You see that? Under a foot, but very wide. I think it's wider than it is tall. And look at this underneath. Look at how beautiful that is. So I love this variety. So this is my newest creation. I call this the Starling, because this it crossed with a Lingria. Beautiful. Look at that. I just love the way it looks. And then these here as well. They're just awesome. So yeah, guys, if you haven't grown peppers in hydroponic systems, you know, give it a shot. You can buy AeroGarden. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just saying that's what I use. Or you can build your own, because it could be a little cheaper. And this beautiful system right here was given to me by Christopher Bransdall. And man, I love this system. I've been using it ever since he given it to me. And it's just great. I love growing in the system. It is a very powerful system. It's much more powerful than the AeroGarden. The AeroGarden, I think it's either 40 or 45 watts. This is actually 100 watts. And I have it set to 40% right now. If I set it to 100%, the plants would just gonna, you know, kind of suffer because it's just too strong. So I can grow basically everything in this system, you know, from peppers to anything that needs more intensity. And it is also a very beautiful system. It's kind of like that iPhone-ish design, you know, nice and elegant. So I just love it. So I did a review on the system. So make sure you check it out if you want more details. But again, Chris, if you're watching, buddy, I love this system. Thank you so much for giving this to me. And you know, I'm gonna be using it on many other things. So that is it, guys. I hope I encourage you a little bit to do a little bit experimenting in the winter time. You know, do inside projects, do some growing, grow some peppers, lettuce, tomatoes. I don't know, whatever you guys want to grow. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.